Brilliance Audio presents Looking Glass by Andrew Mayne. Performed by Will Dameron. Tico kicked the deflated soccer ball down the alley, laughing as Mau Mau, the tan puppy with the chewed-up ear, chased it into the puddle, his two big paws splattering mud and droplets everywhere. He loved that dog. It wasn't quite his. It was more a village dog that sniffed around looking for scraps and chased after rats when there were none to find. But he was Tico's best friend. An outcast like the puppy, Tico had been turned away by his mother when he was 3, and she realized his white skin and reddish eyes weren't going to go away. She'd prayed for him, and even had the woman from the next village, who people said could heal, try to cast out the evil. But it hadn't worked. As others began to scorn Tico's mother for giving birth to a witch child, she sent him out for longer periods at a time, feeding him when she had to, but making him take his meals outside, and eventually sending him off on longer errands, not caring when he got back. He was 4 when he heard his mother explain to another woman that he wasn't really her child. He was actually some friend's poor child she looked after. Tico was pretty sure this wasn't true, but didn't blame her. He knew he was different, and it couldn't be easy for his mother. When she was pregnant with a new child, Tico's mother had stood on the doorstep and kicked him out in front of all the neighbors. She renounced him, telling everyone that he wasn't hers. From that day, he'd never been allowed back inside. At night, if he came to the doorstep and cried from hunger, she might give him something. But if his mother had a man with her, she'd yell at him to go away, pretending she didn't know him. Tico learned to survive by staying out of everyone's way, and learning that some people would help him, but only if nobody saw them do it. There was the old lady with no sons, who would give him half a bean cake or some jollof when her friends made extra. There was Mr. Inaru, who had the repair shop and yard filled with rusted car parts. He let Tico sleep there at night and slide between the bars to hide when other children chased him. They chased him a lot, and when they caught him, they punched him, pulled his hair, and called him a witch child. The reason he liked Mau Mau so much was that the dog didn't hate him or merely tolerate him. He'd lick his face and cuddle next to him when it rained or it was cold. Tico knelt down, patted Mau Mau, and picked up the soccer ball, curious whether Mr. Inaru might be able to fix it so it could hold air. Of course, he knew that it would only be a matter of time before the other children took it away from him. As he stared at the ball, he noticed a reflection in the puddle. A man, a very, very tall man, was smiling down at him. Tico looked up at the kind man. He was dressed in black slacks and a white shirt, like men in his village wore when they went to work or needed to look important. "Are you Tico?" asked the man, in a voice so strong yet warm that Tico would have answered yes no matter the question. But he merely nodded, too nervous to speak. The man's large hand grabbed Tico by the chin and turned his face from side to side. Instead of revulsion, he looked at him like Tico looked at Mau Mau. "You're a very good boy. Would you like to go for a ride in my truck?" Tico had never been in a truck, but had watched them roll through his village as men with guns headed to some far-off place, and sometimes he'd watched as they raced back, with men lying across the beds, their eyes shut or screaming in pain as they clutched bleeding stomachs or limbs.